Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. So on today's video, I'll be showing you how I make my closure wig. So if you're looking on how to make wig yourself, DIY it, just keep watching. We're going to dive into the video shortly. So what I like to do is to use clip to just clip the wig so I can actually see where my needle is going through. So before I started sewing the wig, I've already pinned it down. If you want to see a detailed tutorial on that, I'll be linking a video which you can click on just to see how to do it. So when you are sewing your closure, there are two ways on sewing your closure done. You can either just put the needle just the way I'm doing it now, I'm bringing it out, or you can put the needle and then knot it before stretching out the thread. Depends on what you want, but when you're putting the needle and just bringing it out, it's quicker for me, provided the first line is properly knotted so the sewing doesn't unravel. So most of the time I like to like either sew from the left and get to the back and stop, and then start sewing the closure from the right again. But on this video, I will be sewing just from one side, one end to the other end. So with sewing of wig, it depends on how you want to sew it. So there is no better way or wrong way in doing it when you are actually installing the closure. Maybe because I've been doing it for a very long time, I've been doing this for years, so maybe that's the reason why it's easier for me to just do it that way. But if you're a beginner, you've never made a wig before, you want to start for the very first time, just start the sewing the closure from the right hand side. When it gets to the middle, you stop, and then you go to the left hand side and use another needle to start from the left hand side. And when you get to the middle where you stop on the right hand side, there you can knot the thread together, so it can be easier for you, and just to make sure that your closure is not sliding. So when I get to the end, I like knotting it more than once so it doesn't unravel. I've never made a wig for a client before where they actually complained that the wig unraveled. No, I've never ever seen a wig that I've made that actually unravel. So just to make sure that when you are removing your knot, you're tying it properly, you're knotting it properly. So this is how the closure look after installing it. It came out really, really nice. Look at it, very neat, clean. So if you want to see how I get to adjust this part of the hair, I've done a video previously. You can actually go check it out. I'll be leaving the link somewhere where you can check it out, how to adjust your dome cap wig if it's actually big, if it's big. So if you want to see how to expand it if it's smaller on your head, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm going to upload it for you guys. So the extension we're using today is the Pizzy coils, and it's 100% human hair. So when I want to install my wig, I like to use pin just to hold it down, just to make sure that when I'm fixing it or putting the needle through, it doesn't like start moving. So that's the reason for the pin, and it gives you a basic idea where you are supposed to sew through. So that's exactly what I am doing. So if you don't know, when you're actually sewing a coily hair, it's easier for the thread to start just grabbing the coils, the extension, than straight hair. So I'm just saying it just because if you're doing it for the first time and you notice that your thread keeps sticking on the extension, you might feel bad or feel like maybe there is something you're not doing right. No, you're not actually doing anything wrong. It's just with coily hair, it's easier. So if you don't want to experience that much, you can decide to use a shorter thread. If you're using a shorter thread, it will be easier. You might not have that kind of situation, but if you are using a longer thread, definitely the thread is going to be sticking to the extension most of the time. So you could see me moving my pin that I used to hold the extension. That's just to give me idea, just like I said previously now, um where I'm sewing to, and to give me basic the line that I'm actually sewing, if you actually understand what I'm talking about. So that just give you basic idea. So if you're a beginner, seriously, I strongly recommend you get a pin to like pin it, just to give you a structure that okay, this is where you're working on. So it makes it a lot easier for you as a beginner. So one thing I would like to talk about again, you can see I'm using the pin again. When you turn the extension, try to sew the first line very close. And when you're doing that, just don't forget that you're not actually sewing on the elastic band of the dome cap. You're sewing on the material, the fabric on top of the elastic band. If you sew on the elastic band, the cap wig might be too small by the time you're done, so it might have shrink by the time you're done. So make sure that you're not sewing on the elastic band, but you're sewing on the fabric. You're just using the needle to pick the fabric from the elastic bands. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling when the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. So while I'm doing this, I'm trying to move my camera left, right, and center. My previous video that I did, I actually ring it, like sing it, that if anyone come across this video and you do hair tutorial, please let me know how you keep your camera in one place while you are doing tutorial, because while I'm doing this video, I keep moving my camera just to make sure that I put the camera on a good angle where you guys can actually see what I am doing properly. So I don't know if you think what I did, this tutorial is clear, is a little bit informative, is something you think you enjoyed, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if there is any advice on idea on how to keep camera while you are doing hair tutorial, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I love doing hair tutorial because this is my job, this is what I do like full time. But when I think about the struggle with the camera, with how to move the camera and all that, sometimes I just get frustrated, and I'll be like, you know what? Let me just do something else. Because if I'm uploading any other video apart from hair tutorial, it's easier for me. It's very, very easy. You're just putting the camera on your front and you're doing whatever you need to do. But if it's a tutorial, my girl, you are definitely, me personally, I'm definitely struggling trying to fix the camera on the right position where you guys can actually see what I am doing. I just want my videos to be more informative, and make sure that anyone that comes across my video are able to learn one or two from my video. So making wig is what I do for a living. I also have a hair page if you want to order the hair. The extension I'm using is 10 inches, and we're actually using 2.5 bundle to make it, which is 250 gram of hair. That's what we're actually using with a 4x4 closure. So in case you want to order the hair, we have an Instagram page which you can just I'll be leaving the handle in the description section, which you can go to our Instagram page and order the hair, and we'll deliver worldwide. Distance is never a barrier for us. So you could see that while I'm making the wig, I keep moving my needle. When you notice when the needle is being moved, it gives me a straight line. So it just gives you a straight line, an idea of what you're sewing, how your sewing is going to look like. Like me, when I make my wig, I'm very key about no bumps. I don't want my client to wear my wigs and then they are feeling bumps on the hair, and that is what this needle does as well. Once you put the needle, straighten it with the needle every time you sew the hair, every time you want to change a position, it makes the extension flat on your head. You're not having those bumps, and I don't like it when I see one wear a wig and you're seeing bumps on the wig. It's supposed to be very, very flat. So that is what this pin, when you put the pin all the time, that's what it gives to you, and also give you an idea of a straight line. And fixing my wig, I really want it to be very, very wig. Sorry, when I'm making my wig, I actually want my wig to be very, very neat. I enjoyed it, seeing it that is actually neat. It gives me like joy. I'm very happy about that. So if that is what you're looking at as well as a beginner, you can actually get it for the first time. Just pay attention to this video. And I want to talk about this particular place I'm sewing now. You can see that I swap the extension because I don't want to cut it. I don't like cutting my extension. So when you are doing that, just make sure you're resting one part of your hand on the hair and then stretching the needle. That will make the turns when you're swapping it not to be, you don't have lumps. It's not like you don't notice where you actually turned it. It feels flat. That is what I just did. Hope I'm not talking too much on this video, because I'm just making sure that you guys at least get one or two information about how to make your wig yourself if you want to make one. And whenever I'm putting a new extension, opening another bundle of extension, I like to like sew the very beginning, the first line, maybe like twice, minimum twice or thrice, just to make sure it doesn't unravel. Because I've seen some people send me wig which they've made from other vendor, and when I want to style the wig, maybe they send it to wash, because we also wash wig. We take care of wigs as well and style it and then ship it back. I noticed that a lot of the wig are already unraveling, lose different parts, different areas. Sometimes when I want to be very nice, I just help them to like sew it back. But when I think it's just too much, it looks like it's not a professional that make the wig, I just wash it, style it, and send it back, because I cannot come and kill myself. Yeah. And also, I've also noticed that some people, when they are sewing wig, the gap they give between the needle, the first sewing, and the next one is too much. When you make it too much, it's easier for you to get those lumps as well. So try as much as possible to make sure that the gap you're giving is not too much. You can see where I put my needle now. You see where I put the next one. Just make sure the gap is not too much. It will, by the time you're done, when you do that, you will notice that your wig is very, very neat. Looking at this wig, even though you're not wearing it, from the view at all, you will notice that this wig is going to be very flat on the head. That's the good thing about, sometimes it takes time, but it's good that when you want to do it, just do it the right way, so you don't start having problem and you start thinking of how to lose it and remake it again. That will be double work for you. So just take your time. So you will notice on this strap, this is the first time I'm cutting the extension. I don't like to cut my extension anyhow. I cut it when it's needed. I'm cutting it right now because I want to, the last line I'm going to be sewing is the one that attached to the closure. So that is the reason why I'm cutting it, because I don't want any lumps to show on the fixing. So if you find your way to the end of this video and you've not subscribed to my channel, please support your girl by hitting on the subscribe button. Press on the notification bell for you to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So this is how your wig should look by the time you're done making your wig. You don't have to be scared about it. If you watch this video very well, I bet you for the first time you're going to try to make your wig, it's going to come out this way. So this is how the wig is looking when I was done, just the way it's looking right now. Some clients will just want you to leave the hair just like this, but some will want you to wet it so it gives it another coil pattern. So after wetting it, this is how it should look. Very beautiful, guys. And also you can change the pattern. The way I made the wig, you can change the pattern from middle part to side part, left side part or right side part. It came out really, really beautiful. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.